Do we have to?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All members here, Erin, but she might be coming in.
No, she had a family emergency.
All right. We'll move on then to approval of the agenda.
We have to amend the agenda to add Recreation Representative Jason Atkinson below Fire Board update under committee reports.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Second. Moved and supported to approve the updated agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed the same. I have no comments. We're going to call it a public.
Hi.
Hi there.
My name is Michelle Wagner. I'm the president of Mitchell's Hope, and I've actually been meaning to come in here for a long time and thank the Iosco Township for allowing us to put, and Matt, for allowing us to put Michigan's first Drug Epidemic Memorial into the nature preserve on Roberts Road. I know moms from all over this country and Scotland, and they are so thankful that they can honor their children in Livingston County. I have moms from California to Florida who have their children's names at that memorial. So I just wanted to thank you, and if you haven't been out there, I invite you to go on out there and take a look. I lost my only child to a heroin overdose in 2014. So I do work in the community, but thank you, and Matt Miller, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
That's hard to follow up respectfully.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. As I mentioned to the board in an email I sent, and I think it's on the agenda perhaps too, about an ethics policy. I want to give a little bit more context behind the proposal that I put forward as to why I sent that through. Is that through the process we've had the last 2-3 years, there's a lot of whispers out there, a lot of innuendos about who has NDAs, who has some lease interest, things like that. I encourage this board to adopt something that's a little bit more than the standard MTA ethics policy, so we can quiet that noise out there and really just kind of bring that down a bit and just focus on the matters at hand. So to me, I'm not on the board or anything like that, but if we can kind of put that in play, I think that would be helpful to the community going forward on that. So that's the context for that, just another extra layer of ethics out there going above and beyond. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Anybody else?
Hello. Yeah, my name is Mark Gatesman. I'm a lifetime resident of Howell, and I'm running for 44th Circuit Judge, the position that's held by Judge Suzanne Geddis. She's aged out, she's retiring. As I said, I was born here in Livingston County. My father was the Livingston County prosecutor in the 60s. I'm a product of the Howell school system. I'm a graduate of the Howell High School. My mother was a Howell public school teacher. I have practiced almost 30 years. When I finished law school, I moved to Florida because my father was a politician in the area. I wanted to strike out on my own. I practiced there for 6 years. I've been back here since 1997. If any of you drive through Howell, you drive by my office all the time. It's right on Grand River in front of the Howell School Complex. It's an older home that's been converted to an office. I like to tell people one of the reasons I'm running is because I'm on the drug court. That's one of the jobs I have. I also run my own practice. I'm the defense lawyer there, and I like to tell people about the drug court, that we handle and help people who are involved in the system who have drug and alcohol problems. They go through a rigorous process of treatment and probation and come into court twice a month. And what we do is we get them better, we get them back with their families, we get them working, paying taxes, and we save all of you a lot of money because we're not having to expand the jail by putting more people in there. Any person who wins the position, the 44th Circuit Court that I'm running for, is going to have one of the specialty courts. The IT court, which deals with people with emotional problems, the drug court, which I'm a part of, or the veterans court. We also have a veterans court. So I'm trying to let people know that I practiced 30 years, I'm from this community, and if I'm elected, I probably, or any judge is going to have one of the specialty courts. I have the national and state training. I've done it for over 8 years. So thank you very much for letting me speak. And if anybody wants to sign my petition, I need 600 signatures just to get on the ballot. So I'd be happy to pass this to anybody who wants to sign it for me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, with that, we're going to move on to the adoption of the regular minutes from January 15th.
A motion to adopt January 26 meeting minutes.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any discussion?
Oh, I take my second back.
I'll second it. She wasn't here.
I wasn't here. I was there. So.
I'll second it.
All right. And hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carries. And on to the clerk's report.
I have the Lucas County Sheriff's Department report. During January, the township received 32 hours of dedicated service. This included 68 self-initiated calls for service, 6 dispatch calls for service, which resulted in 3 reports, 2 field contacts, and 6 traffic citations. Friday, January 9th, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., we had 3 subdivision patrols, 2 building checks, and 3 traffic stops. On Tuesday, January 13th, from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 patrol area checks, 3 subdivision patrols, 1 building check, 4 traffic stops, 2 property damage accidents, and 2 incident reports, accident reports. On Friday, January 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., there were 5 business checks, 17 subdivision patrols, and assist other deputy on intimidation harassment complaint. And then Tuesday, January 27th, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 15 subdivision patrols, 6 patrol area checks, 1 assist EMS, and 1 fraud complaint. 1 road runoff, 1 traffic stop, and 1 incident report with 2 field contacts. Any questions regarding the Lucas County Sheriff's Department's report? The only other thing is I have received the signed facility use agreement with Mason Road Bible Church, and so we will be moving Precinct 2 to Mason Road Bible Church for the August primary and for the November Michigan general election. The printing of the new voter ID cards will go out early April because it's in that budget. To have there's about 1,800 of them that are going to have to be printed and mailed out. Yeah, so we've got that all secured, and so I can happily report that.
Thank you, Julie. Amanda, Treasurer's report.
In front of you is the report. I have all the bills to submit to DTE except for the bill from the school. I don't know what the school's issue is, but DTE has reached out and they're ready to settle up, so we will be settling that up hopefully in the next month. I did pay out Arcadia Estates since that was approved. The 2 CDs, I renewed again until April 23rd. That's about it. Oh, I guess tax season is coming to a close. The office will be open March 2nd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for anybody who wants to pay before it goes to the county. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess with that, then we'll pay the bills.
I will make a motion that we pay $55,766.12 in township bills.
A second.
Moved and supported. Any discussion?
Just that the plowing has become very expensive. is over $2,000 for January to February.
Oh, we did have a lot of
We
snow.
did,
I mean, there's still snow out there, and we've had how many nice days and rain and.
Right. Yep, they were here a lot, I mean, based on their schedule. We could ask for less snow next year, I
Yes,
guess.
yes, we'll that.
Solution.
Request.
But yes, it is a lot compared to what we're used to. All right, we have no further discussion then, call the roll.
Daily, aye. Miller.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Bonnville.
Aye.
Motion carries. Committee reports, Amanda.
I'm afraid the admin for the fire authority went on vacation before she could print my report, so I can't tell you how many emergency things happened in Iosco Township since our last meeting. I can tell you that retired Chief Wright passed away. I attended his funeral on Saturday, representing the board. It's always emotional to see the culmination of so many years of service. He was 34 years on the fire, just on the fire, or no, it's 50 years on the fire department, 34 as chief.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we did not have a meeting in January due to lack of agenda. Thank you.
All right. And that brings us to Jason for the rec report.
We actually did have a meeting in January for the first time. We had the annual meeting with all of the townships and the recreation department. They went over what they've been up to, and a proposed budget for the upcoming year. It's kind of been a tough year, just because, the park lost all their soccer fields, Mun's going away, so they lost half of their basketball courts, they lost their archery stuff. So we've been working on trying to get solutions for some of those, missing things, and that's still kind of an ongoing concern. However, they did use a lot of their fundraisers this last year for some capital improvements, the biggest one being notably some new batting cages, because they used to hang them in mud, so they had to do something else. So they purchased a whole new system. I actually don't know exactly where he installed it, to be honest with you, but they did get a whole new batting cage for baseball and softball to be working inside during the spring times, which will hopefully free up some of those other gym and archery areas to work on, as well as it's probably the best one in the county from at least Zach's words anyways. I don't know if the plan this upcoming year will be for capital improvements or not, because when we get to the budget, there's one item to talk about on it. But for the most part, the budget is, it looks really good, looks really clean. They're doing probably a 3% increase from what they've been doing in prior years. That means also fees went up about 3%, which turns out to be roughly $3-4 for almost every sport. Nothing went up over 10, so it shouldn't be much of a problem for people to absorb that one. The only big thing that's coming up on the proposed budget is the assistant director has turned 26, which means he no longer has access to health insurance, so they want to offer that to him. That wasn't included in the budget of what they're charging to the townships, so that may be where capital improvements go for a little bit of it. Work on giving him that, because I don't know if the department will run without it. So when you look at the proposed budget, if you see it, you'll see there's a hole of about $5,000, and that's where it's coming from. Iosco's portion of the budget, as of right now, is actually scheduled to be down a little bit from last year. Probably due to contribution percentage, like what percentages of people are from here. However, we don't have final numbers from Zach yet, so I was hoping that we'd have them this month and we could talk about actually getting an approval for it, but we don't have final numbers. I don't know if they're going to try and charge us yet. So if you can take a look at it, then maybe we can put that on the agenda for March to vote on. But as of right now, we're down $355 from what we were last year. Conway said they gave us about 8 participants, so that could be raising us just a little bit. So I did go through all of the participants for all of the sports. There was a lot to do in January as opposed to across the time, but I think that with Zach getting all of those corrections at once, they're more likely to be updated. So I actually think that's a better process from what we were doing. I gave away one, and I might have gained one because somebody misspelled Iosco. I don't know where that guy would have gone. So, the number you see in there is probably going to go up. I'm guessing that we will be still under what we were last year, if not right about where we were. If we are under, I would ask maybe if we can consider putting a small, like the 3% cost of living in there to go up to maybe cover some of that money for Steven, because again, I don't think that that department runs without him. So if we could contribute some towards that, it'd be appreciated. If not, I think they have plans for it, so the discussion is but I think that's all of my notes for it. Any questions for me on what else was talked about?
So we paid $22,000 last year, so are you suggesting the 22,000 times 3%?
Yes.
Is that what you're?
Yes, that's, yep.
Is the assistant full-time?
They have the capacity, he's at 30 hours guaranteed, they have the capacity to give him more. So, and he has been working more, but that was part of the thing when we changed to this agreement as opposed to, the old one specified that he could only do 30 hours. The new agreement gives him the capability to give him more.
Gotcha.
So that new agreement, I guess, does need to be sent in by April 1st, so that's why I was asking if we can put a vote for it. Probably next month when we get numbers from Zach for what the final numbers are. I know he's been asked a couple of times, so. I Conway voted for theirs this last meeting. They went with the number that was in here, which probably actually puts them a little bit over, because like I said, I think Conway gave us some of theirs, so their participant percentage is probably going down a tiny bit, so I would guess they're 100 or 2 over what they would actually be paying percentage-wise.
Okay. Thanks, Jason. Matt, PC updates.
There's been some more discussions about the data centers and ordinance. We are waiting to see what advice is to be taken from our legal side in the land planning department. PC chair has been in communications with the land planner regarding our next steps with the master plan procedural steps, and is getting together a handful of quotes for public survey costs and information to present for March's meeting on the public input survey for the master plan. And then Munsell Rd Bridge is in the design phase right now. We'd expect construction to begin roughly in October and November, a little bit delayed than what it was expected, and then open right after the first of the year in '27, and then it'll be shut down for a little period of time in April so they can go through and pave it. So they'll get the bridge opened up before the paving just to get it opened. So I expect to see that, like I said, late, early fall. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Ann?
Just a quick side note to help Jason out, the batting cages, it's my understanding, are in the old cafeteria at Smith.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then archery, which isn't under the umbrella of recreation, it was moved to the Smith gym.
Oh, good.
Yes, yeah, and they're very excited about their space, so.
The whole recreation department did move to Smith too, in
Yeah.
case anybody didn't know that one too. So they are in the east side of Smith now.
Yes.
Well, I guess on that same note, I mean, they used to, we're a long ways away, of course, but, I mean, we still have the side yard that they've used for soccer in the past
Okay.
that is available.
Okay. They've done well so far. They've moved the smaller fields. They've moved into football for the spring because nobody plays football over there. So they've been doing well there, at least with making up fields. So far they've been handling that one. But I will definitely offer it up if we're looking for something like you.
Sorry, Ann.
No, I'm the one that diverted it, so it's all good. I have issued a permit for a new house in February. So you have that report in front of you, and that's the only permit I have issued this year so far.
Yep. Snow slowing things
I
down.
think the snow and the cold,
Yep.
yep. So that's all I have.
That is one lame report.
And no unfinished business. So on to new business. Okay, data center moratoriums. So obviously we all know that data centers are the new big thing, right? I've spoken with 2 attorneys on this, and Amanda and I both were part of an MTA Zoom meeting yesterday, Wednesday. There's two options for zoning, right? We do nothing, and see if somebody comes in and forces our hand, if you will, or we draft an ordinance. They're both legitimate options, according to the attorneys. As they would say, they're policy decisions for the township to make, based on what we feel is best for the township. Of course, having an ordinance allows the township to maintain some control. So, they didn't say we should do it, but I mean, I think it's kind of logical that we really should do it. I've received documents from Mike Homier on draft or approving a rough, why did I always mess that word up? Moratorium, no, the resolution.
Oh, a resolution.
They say resolutions, or I say a referendum instead of resolution. So to approve a resolution to basically establish a moratorium that would last a year with a possible 6-month extension, depending on the progress being made on a ordinance. So I guess open for discussion as to what people feel. Do something, don't do something. The papers are presented. If we wanna approve a referendum of resolution on this tonight, we do have the documents in front of us to do it.
This is basically just gonna give us more time without having anything down our throats, to go through and cross T's and dot I's and make sure we're covered for control. Yeah.
Because we don't have an ordinance for data centers specifically.
Right, there was some fear that brought up that depending on how ordinance are worded, when you have commercial and industrial areas, you might not have the exact phrase data center in your ordinance, but there could be other descriptions in it for
Right.
uses that somebody could argue that they could slip a data center in under. So I think that's one of the reasons why they felt that you probably would be better off moving forward with an ordinance to protect yourselves, protect ourselves.
Thank you.
Right, I guess I would favor an ordinance because I would like it to have in there things like, if you're gonna bring it, if you wanna bring it here, it's gotta be on a paved road. If the road isn't paved, then you're gonna pave the road. If it needs natural gas for these generators, then you're gonna bring in the natural gas and you're gonna hook up everybody between wherever you gotta tap into all the way down to the data center. I know, I think we should have our list of demands, so to speak, in it. Berms and all that, all the stuff that I'm sure everybody else, every other township is asking for. I don't know how I feel about air-cooled versus closed loop versus, I don't know how they're gonna have one out here and have a well that's gonna give them enough water to do what they do. Now, if I remember that Celine is saying that it has to be air-cooled. But of course, if it's air-cooled, it's gonna suck down twice as much power. So you're gonna just stress and that was the other thing they said in the meeting, to any upgrades to the surrounding electrical system needs to be all on them. So.
As well as, it's a state requirement if they want to take advantage of this tax savings, that they prove that what they're doing will not affect local rates.
Right.
But they also recommended that be in any local ordinance too. So that way they're putting it on paper to the township
That everybody's electricity rates aren't gonna go up because of this, yeah.
so.
I think it sounds like a good idea,
to have an ordinance, yeah.
to do a moratorium so they can work on it, so thank you, Michigan, work on the ordinance.
That's not, I will make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-01, resolution to adopt an ordinance to impose a moratorium on the issuance of permits, licenses, or approval for data center.
Second.
Moved and supported to approve or resolution 2026-01, I said it right?
You did? We'll start.
I guess call the roll.
Miller,
Aye.
Bonnville,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Bailey, aye.
All right, motion carries. Moving on to principles of governance discussion. Okay, so we have, Debbie Hofstas spoke, called it public. So we have the information from Debbie. We have MTA recommendations. We have compiled state law. And we have bylaws of our PC. And we also have these principles of governance that Julie has in our packet from the Township Association. Basically, our attorneys are, and when I say our attorney, I'm talking about John Harris now at this point, because he's the one who would be primarily defending us in a court of law on a case like that. In his mind, it's generally covered through state statute. If the board feels that we need and should have more requirements or details or whatever, you know, as far as a specific ordinance, he's fine. He recommends starting with the MTA and working with that, and then refine, you know, go from there and determine, you know, what should be struck, what should be added, but use that kind of like as our baseline. I'm gonna basically take all that information and compile it and send it out to everybody on the board so that you all have a chance to look at it, and then next month, you know, do your markups, whatever that you think is appropriate. We'll come back together and kind of discuss whether we want to do it at all, whether, you know, we have markups we want to see that we think should be there, shouldn't be there, whatever, if that's agreeable. Unless somebody has an issue, that's about it on that. Unless somebody has a discussion, it's more of an action item, I guess.
So basically, we're gonna, like you just said, you're gonna compile all this and we'll discuss it in March.
Yep. All those documents, I'll just put in a package and get them emailed out.
Okay.
So everyone will have the same thing to review, mark up, and you know, if they, whatever, research something else, obviously, you're welcome to bring it in too. But that's a pretty broad cross-section.
March is the early meeting, correct?
No,
Or is that?
it's just PC.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you, Joe.
All right, and then with that, we'll go on to purchase of development rights. I asked for this to be on the agenda, you know, just coming off of all the solar stuff and, you know, the saving our farmland and that type of thing. And if we're really gonna save the farmland, I know I brought this up before, there's gotta be a way to protect it, to make it advantageous for a farmer to keep that land in agriculture. So, but to do that, you know, the thought was to get a millage going. Well, a millage can't be established for anything like that without an ordinance in place. So for us to be able to pursue any kind of farmland preservation effort, it's going to require you guys to do more work.
Is there a timeline that this has got to be done, completed, so it meets
I mean,
whatever?
we'll never make August. I mean, we'll never, yeah, we won't be able to get on it. Yeah, I'm not
And
expecting
the
it,
master
but,
plan work.
Because it will have to, because it's a millage, it'll have to go to a vote.
right.
So this is a 2-year,
Well,
2.5 year,
well, hopefully not, but yeah.
2 year.
probably.
Well, 2 years, you gotta have it
2
done in
years.
time to get on the ballot.
Right.
our ballot initiatives, in April?
No, we'd have to pay for it, the whole.
No, I
thing.
meant, do you have to have it, you know how candidates for August have to be in by a certain,
There is a date,
there's
yes.
a date, that's what I'm asking,
Yes.
I guess. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Date
the
of the
date to
wording.
get onto the, like, the November, and I don't need to know, but there is a date.
There is a
So
date.
that is,
There is
the-
a date.
I knew what it was, I don't keep thinking around.
it doesn't matter, there
But I
is,
knew
so
we weren't
that's
gonna make it.
basically we would have to have something approved before
The
that
ballot
date.
would
to-
have to be approved
Right.
by, and that will just have to be approved by the board. The board can put anything on a ballot.
Right.
So we would need a general ordinance then?
No, it'd be a zoning
It can
ordinance.
be a zoning ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said AM County's already going through this, so we want to refer planning commission to discuss with someone over in AM County.
Yeah, I've got information I'll provide to you guys on that too, if you want.
Yeah, just some more I can refer out to.
Williamston has one already. I've got information from Augusta Township that they have one.
Forward it in email, I'll just tag Al in it too, if you would please, or the whole planning commission.
Yeah.
And I'll make note of it for next month's meeting.
Okay. And I guess I was hoping kind of for the record, if everyone's supporting this, we
Make a
could.
motion. I'll make a motion that we direct the planning commission to begin work on an ordinance for the purchase of development rights.
Second.
Moved and seconded to request the planning commission to pursue an ordinance for purchase of development rights. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carries. Thank you. The 26 proposed Livingston County Road Commissions, we've got, technically we have 4, I guess that's double-sided. We have
It should be 5, because the 4-inch lift is not in here.
Oh, that's true. One of them was updated. It was still at 4.
Yeah, the section of Coon Lake in between
Right.
Bull Run and Gregory Road, they had bid that at 6 inches for $131,000. About 10 years ago, I want to say we put material to that road. I know we did. And I propose that they give us a 4 inches as well, just to maybe lessen the price.
Okay.
So it takes another 20,000
Right.
material price off of that to 113.
113?
Yeah, for 4 inches on the Coon Lake Road between Gregory and Bull Run.
Wait, so be the third quote in here?
Yep.
Or- Okay,
Yep, third one.
this one is, so instead of 131, it's,
That's a 6-inch price for
okay,
material.
this is the 6-inch.
Yep,
Okay.
113 for a 4-inch.
So this is basically what we have in front of us. I guess if we will bring this up next month for our final decisions on it, is my thought, along with the review budget, the final budget proposal for the next fiscal year. But it's kind of a presentation, so everyone knows where we're at.
Gotcha.
My only question on that is the budget meeting is until after the board meeting, so.
Well, true, but I'm gonna have a
we
draft
numbers.
budget.
Okay,
I'm expecting to have, in fact, that was kind of I'll just jump to my comments.
Yeah, go
I was just gonna note that the draft budget I would expect to have up probably by the end of the month, that we could put on the website or whatever, so that it's out there. Then, so then we should be able to cover this at the
Okay.
March meeting also, and adjust if we need to the budget. That's all I have. Or Matt, have you done it?
Yep.
All right. On to board member comments. Matt?
Another?
No. Amanda?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Julie?
no?
guess I made mine, so I have none. So we'll go back to the public. Anybody got to speak? Yes.
I was wondering, Joe, I don't know if you can do this or not, but potentially, I mean, if you think about it, you got 2 heavy lifts going on right now that you guys approved. Would you consider bringing some of the, the residents on to help with the heavy lifting? I mean, we might be able to work together better as a team when we kind of involve everyone. I mean, you can certainly do it with the 5 of you, but I think some of you have like full-time jobs, so there might be some abilities for us to do some heavy lifting. There might be some expertise that we bring to the table that maybe to this point you guys haven't seen. If we're starting a new year, maybe we started off in the right direction. So just an offer. I don't know if anyone else wants to do anything to help out or sort that out, but I think it's worth an ask if anyone wanted to do that. And it might help facilitate so that we're not doing things like, because I think both these are 2 things that you want to get done as quickly as possible, but also the best product that you can put out there, but not have it be 2.5 years or anything like that.
Are you talking about the planning commission, what we've given planning commission?
Yeah,
to do?
exactly. That's exactly both those items, because both those items are things that I think brings in different expertise that would allow people to maybe contribute some of the things that in terms of what they have as experiences to that. I think you saw that sort of in the solar world when we were doing the solar. I think everybody was engaged in that. I think everybody would be extremely engaged in both these items. I think data centers is definitely a hot topic item. Solar was going to be easy compared to data centers. Anybody that's out there looking at data centers knows that that's a much more complicated issue and certainly bigger players. So how do you deal with that? And then obviously, if there is a silver bullet to potentially anything and everything, that silver bullet could be potentially be the protection of the land from a farmer's point of view. And I think, again, I don't know much about this protection of the land, but I think there's a tax benefit on the backside of that. So it's not only just a generation of revenue for the farmers like they would be like on the solar side, that was just all revenue with no tax on the backside to help the attributes offset that cash. I think with this, since you're going through the state, I'm sure there's some tax incentives that allow those tax attributes to offset that revenue and help the farmers stay in the right tax brackets. So I think those are kind of all things that would help us as a group kind of disperse that. So just an offer.
Anybody else? Guess with that, we're going to have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved and supported to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you all for coming.
I'm